I'm there on the call.
Thank you.
Okay. So is it now visible, Jenny? Or something?
Yeah, it's visible now. Thank you.
Okay, so for that, what we have implemented in the X-ray. So I'm just going through that first. So in the as you know that have implemented that for the sprint and regression planning execution. So entire work is now we are starting doing with using the X-ray, like pass fail the scenarios, execution, and the all the test case writing, all happening in the X-ray. And then the earlier we have restructured the X-ray folder. So the folder structure that we have preferred based on the template, and the template ID was added in the folders, and because we were just more friendly with the template, and the tracking was easier with that structure. So we have used that folder structure. And then we have worked on some optimization of code release and data center failover. So that was done. That production optimization was done. Then we had the data center failover, which need very quick test. So at part of that, so we need to optimize more scenarios and keep only high level cases. Those we can execute quickly, and so all the critical one we have added. So that few more optimization needed for data center. So we are going to apply some new tag there, like quick test, something like quick test tag. We will apply such scenarios. So that will be separated. That suits will be separated for the like data center or some like minor releases or these kind of testing which need quick test. So that optimization was happen. This is happening on for the all the project like we show GoLive and Orion. And then we have also that automate. We are just planning to automate all the high level production verification scenarios. So those were already been automated. So what we are going to do is we will pick those scenarios. Those are already automated, and we are going to set up everything in the production. So as we have earlier planned about the custom jobs, so we will do the custom job as Manak has suggested that. So we will apply the custom job tags like something the new tags there. So during the production testing, we will execute those scenarios. So most of the existing regression kind of scenarios will be done by the automation, and remaining mostly the new feature scenarios and few remaining scenarios can be executed by manual team. So in this manner, we will achieve it by our given like couple of, we get the only couple of hours. So we will achieve by that method. So that would be helpful. So that's our future plan. And we have started doing that, setting up those kind of scenarios. And then just talking about this other regular processes that we are doing, that sprint scenarios estimations. So we are continuing the sprint scenarios estimation when we create the scenario and we estimate it. So the estimation is based on the regression analysis. So because we can that if we are doing with the sprint basis, then sprint has different set of structure, like it's a new feature, so everyone not aware of that. Then we have multiple dependencies, like we have a dependency on other teams processes and products. And then also that there are multiple times we have to do rework and during the sprint, so that estimation cannot be justified for the scenarios if we do for the basis on the sprint work. So we are doing based on the regression. So like it will take each time like 20 minutes for one of the scenarios. So it will take around that much time. So it will not that much vary. So that's why we are referring the regression based estimation for scenarios. And then linking issues and scenarios that we are doing on the regular basis, that as a defect we are linking with those scenarios, whether it's a production bug or QA bug, we are applying those. And then updating X-ray execution. So regularly we are updating the pass manual, pass fail, uh, and sometimes that happens that builds failed on some day. So we update on the next day. So that happens. And then we are trying to now, as instructed, to try to cover 100% regression to completely execute test cases. Those are available in the test plan, regression test plan. So we have achieved in the last regression almost 100% that we have achieved for Orion, and for other projects there is 80 to 90% that. So the targeted one is 100%. So we have as we have already optimized the scenario, so we are trying to cover all these. If there is not much hurdles like sprint work or other uh, bugs, those are blocker bugs happen, then we will definitely achieve this number, the 100% regression. And then the regression status that we usually provide is based on the that captured from the X-ray test plan. So that X-ray regression test plan, we are referring that one. So like currently I'm giving the status of regression. So that is for manual overall test that was done, that manual by manual team. And then after some coverage happen like 50%, then I start doing two coverage, that overall coverage and one is manual coverage. So manual coverage is that how many overall completed tasks covered by manual team, and overall coverage automation plus manual. Then I started giving usually on the second week of the regression. So like 60-70% already covered by the automation. Then what's remaining percentage being covered. And then test case prioritization, that we have already prioritized, and more prioritization is happening mostly for the production one, and the REST TP tags are applying based on the risk-based analysis. So each time regression, what we do, there's some features like text rewrite came. So that's at this time that article became high uh, because it is dependent, and other AI cases, those can be affected. So we make those kind of scenarios on the high priority basis. So based on that, what is impacting, and so we are prioritizing. That's methods we always apply. And then commenting and logging hours. So in the commenting logging hours, so instead of commenting on each X-ray scenarios that was earlier suggested, that commenting on each scenario, the team comments under Jira tasks and logs are there. And so logging hours directly in scenario is avoided for better tracking and to save time. This process also makes review and feature coverage more manageable because what's happened when we just open each and every scenario and comment under that, and so we can do that, but it is taking more time. And what's happened that when I take the status and review the task, so I have to go to each scenarios and take what was the commented or something. So review process was lengthy. So the Jira that we used to refer the template one, regression template. So that is more helpful and precise to review. So we are completely following the Excel processes, execution and everything, but only that for tracking purpose, the team is more friendly with the Jira process. So we are still doing the consolidated comments and log works in the particular Jira. So as the Excel structure is also same as the our regression template. So it is where easier to track both them and link Jira accordingly. So that's why we are still referring that Jira template structure for commenting and logging hours. And then we have that future implementation for X-ray and AI processing.
Mahir, sorry to interrupt for 1 second. So regarding to the creating the Jira for the regression, you means like we still need to using, I know this spring we're still using for the regression Jira that This is the one that you're talking on the current board, right? Regression board that you climb all the
Yes,
templates.
regression board.
Oh, I thought we're gonna
Yes,
be
the regression board.
I thought we would replace. I mean, we were not gonna using that, and the next. I mean, we try to get rid of like double place, like
No,
both place need to be.
see,
Uh,
Jenny,
uh
should I?
so yeah, please.
First of all, extremely sorry everyone. I got stuck in heavy traffic. So okay. So as far as about I mean like the regression template creation, regression zero creation, this is just for our sake of understanding. I'm like just for the better tracking. I'm like that doesn't mean we are not following the X-ray process. We are mainly focusing on the X-ray board. We are updating the status of each and every test case in X-ray only, and we are just creating the regression template for our reference purpose. That how many features we have covered because it is easy to track. Just look into the one main Jira where we have multiple subtasks so that we can easily identify that how many things we have covered so far. That is the only purpose. And another thing, another main thing is that I'm like we do not have I'm like any concrete solution for logging the hours in a particular Jira. As Mohit already explained it, like logging the hours in an individual test case is quite I'm like time consuming process. And also I'm like it would be very difficult for us to review the things in each and every test case because it will take lots of time to us to review the things. So that's why we are just creating the regression template Jira uh, for our sake of understanding. And that is the only reason. But I'm like, we are not bypassing the X-ray process. We are following the X-ray process here. Uh, I'm like, we are updating the status. Our main focus is on X-ray board only.
But may
Yeah, Oleg,
the,
please go
the
ahead.
question is if you're creating another Jira ticket for each individual test you're doing just because of tracking logging hours, it's kind of only maintenance of this kind of requires some time. And regarding you have clear picture of what was executed or not based on test plan executions, right? It
X-ray,
gives
you
you
are talking about?
yes, I'm talking about X-ray. And Mana,
Okay.
correct me any time, but you will see how many executed, and we are not talking about test, we are talking about test execution. This is your current latest situation, right? I'm not sure why do you need another Jira ticket to keep all these details about this test execution. And maybe I'm missing something. This is test execution, right? And it gives you how
Mm,
many any I
right.
mean maybe I confused. Sorry.
Yeah, Oleg, that's like these are the features. Okay, so each feature has multiple scenarios. So what happens if I want to track this scenario, like header and navigation personalization? So if I open that particular task, so what guys doing? They are just collecting all those test cases and commenting like pass fail status there as well. So what they have implemented, like which URL they have used, which client they have used, so they are consolidated way, they are commenting there. So it is good to have those comments and Jira for future tracking and for when just like I want to review my team's work. So I go to one Jira and track from there. So and if I comment only in the execution, then what happens? There is one more than hundreds of tasks. So in the hundreds of tasks, that is a one execution. So commenting, there is a hundreds of comments will be there. More than 100 comments will be there. So tracking from there is not that much easy for us. So it's more convenient to have that Jira. That's why we are just referring that one. And team is more comfortable on that by doing that particular Jira.
But why do you need X-ray in this case?
We need X-ray that everything is captured here. We are tracking from the percentage here. We are also checking the cases, pass and fail status. Everything is there. The folder structure we are referring only that's what team has tested. Their data is added into that particular task, and like it take 2 or 3 days. So each day's tracking is there. How many test cases executed at that particular day. So that the comments also shows that like today I have done 14 scenarios executed for that particular task. So it is
Sorry,
for day wise it is commented there.
I understand.
Oleg,
Okay, so maybe Manak, maybe we can have a separate discussion after the release. I mean, how team can use this X-ray, but it sounds like something redundant. I mean, if you have 2 JIRAs for the same every time, I mean,
Oleg,
I
we
don't
just
see.
need to think about two things. I'm like, there are two major pain areas for us. The first thing is commenting in an individual test case, and the second one is the logging hours in an individual test
Sorry,
case.
sorry, Sandeep. Quick question.
I
I'm just trying to understand. So when you say in commenting in individual JIRAs, right? What exactly information you want to store?
no, we store. I mean, like executed the test case. If it is passed in a queue environment, we just need to provide all the information in which particular environment we have covered the particular scenario or the particular test case in which show
Right, but you have
or
for individual execution, you're creating test plan execution, right? And this
exactly,
is
exactly.
and you copying all the tests, whatever is in your test plan, right?
That's why, Oleg, I'm saying I'm like we need to find the concrete solution for it, and everybody should be on the same page where exactly we need to log the hours,
Okay.
whether we need to log the hours in an individual test case or in just in a test execution, which we are
I think
creating in
going
each other.
back, we decided, okay, guys, if you cannot log your hours, it's fine. And
Okay.
log hours is not the goal. Log hours we are using, I mean, we need estimation hours for balancing, we need estimation hours for executing test plans, right? And we agreed, Jenny, please confirm, we agreed when you creating test, first time creating test, you put your broad estimation, rough estimation one time, and you never
That's
go
correct.
back. And we decided this, right? So
That's correct.
there
I
is no
think
task
yeah.
has to go back and update every execution.
But even I mean, he was mentioned in the earlier of the document as well, right? So we're adding estimating for the each task.
Each
Yeah,
test
actually the
or
commenting is the
task.
main it, yeah.
No, but each task or each test, there's two different
Each
things,
test.
right?
Each task, yeah.
Okay.
Each
Yeah,
task.
but it's one time when you're creating this initially, right?
So, I'd like one question to
Okay.
clear. So what you say is like we can estimate the task when we're creating, and that's what the team's doing right now. But then when you say like when we executing this task in the regression, you don't mind like not locking the hours and stuff. Like how many hours they are actually running this test?
The question to me, sorry,
Yeah,
Jenny, I
yeah,
missed it.
yeah.
Oh, to
I just
me,
want to confirm with you. You say
okay.
it's okay to have an estimation or hours estimation when we create the task, each task.
Yes,
But then
yes.
when we're running the executing this task and that
Mhm.
task, like we don't need to lock the hours that we are.
The question to you as well, how are you using these hours? Are you going back and looking to these hours somewhere?
I am not, but then it was something to
Okay.
do. We need to
No,
lock
but
the
okay,
hours on
if
the
you are not,
report.
who else? I mean, okay, Jenny, if you are not looking into the hours, you don't need this information. Who else is looking into this? Who needs this information? Okay, tell me. No, I'm asking, I'm not sure. I've
No,
never looked into it,
I'm not
so
sure either. I was though like just
so
like
this is a
normal
good.
like if something they coming back to QA, so okay, you have like 2 weeks to run the regression, like see how many hours you guys locking, and then it's someone I don't know, Jit or someone gonna be looking the report and say, are you guys really working on this because you're not even nothing was locking. Were we locking the hours that were people working then?
Jenny. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so.
tell me who is using this information and when they're using last time. Let's say, let me rephrase the question, right? When was it using last time?
That I don't
By
know
somebody.
who's actually looking.
Who's somebody? So what you're saying right now, we're spending time to updating every Jira, how much time we spend. We're creating another ticket to track this information. and it's worth to keep.
I think this is one thing. The other things I like, Cindy was
No,
mentioning
no, no.
that
Let's start
there
one
are
by one,
things.
Jenny.
Okay,
One
yeah,
by
it's
one.
fine for us. Like if you feeling like we don't need to be locking like this hour, that's fine. I'm
Jenny,
fine with it. I was
Jenny,
just thought like
Jenny,
preventing someone asking like
Jenny,
it's
I
Q&A
understand.
walking.
Sorry, Jenny. I
No,
mean, this is what I'm saying. Let's have another
mm,
meeting after the release. I'm
sure.
trying to understand who is using, who needs this information, and why we're spending so much time on it.
Okay,
Is
sure.
it possible to do? Okay. So
Yeah.
it will be one question, only one question, Sandeep. I understand there is other concerns about test execution, what kind of information. What why I'm asking Manak, we have, I think we thought about everything, but looks like there's something is missing. About test execution, this is Jira of this test execution for particular test is the same Jira, whatever you're creating a site of X-ray. I need to look into it. And maybe there's something missing, Sadi. Please collect your concerns, right? And we go one by one on this meeting. What you cannot see from this test execution, and what do we really need some other Jira ID aside, etc., etc. Okay? Can we,
Okay.
Sandeep? Can you drive this and set up meeting after release is done? It can be a couple of weeks or whatever.
Sure, sure, right.
Maybe on the
Ju-
next meeting like that. Okay, thank you.
just one question, Oleg. As you said, like you are fine if we don't look the R's in a particular test cases or the test execution. Uh, then I mean, like based on our previous discussion, that how can we calculate that how much time we are saving through automation and how much time we are spending on manual?
Uh, Again, it's probably, first of all, I want to hear who is using this information.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, we'll connect.
because
Please, Oleg.
I'm maybe missing something, so I'm not saying I'm the final instance kind of to tell you how to do that. So let's discuss,
Sure, 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 sure.
because what
That can be,
happens, yeah, go ahead, Manak.
yeah, just wanted to add one thing. That can be only calculated when we have the estimated, time added in the every test. Then only it will be
Absolutely,
possible.
Manak. Absolutely.
Please go ahead. I don't want to ruin this meeting. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think, okay, so Sandeep, maybe after Oleg suggested, so after release, let's have a meeting with that, so we can, we can,
Yeah,
we can
definitely, Manak. We'll
yeah,
talk
discuss with
about it
the
and we'll
with
come.
other leads here also, and we can have some common agenda like with concerns, and maybe can discuss it.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, sure,
Sure.
Manak. Sure,
Thanks.
Manak. We'll discuss about it.
Sure.
Yeah, Mohit, please go ahead.
Okay. So after this, so we have some that we have actually discussed some of the future implementations, like some regression planning, some dynamic regression planning. So use some historical data and machine learning models to predict and estimate sprint capacity more accurately. Like last time, Oleg has suggested that I can do some test cases with this predicted, calculated log estimated hours. So that we can go with when we just give all the information to AI and AI learn better, then that could be helpful at that time. So and generating the test cases. So in the initial phase, like when sprint started on the first day, so we get some test plan and test cases with using AI. So that can be achieved if that AI is well trained. Uh, then we have enhanced automation, so increase the automation coverage for production verification.
But he's
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. I think all have questions. Right?
Just
sorry.
not a question. It's kind of just a comment. Sorry to stop it again. So regarding this creating test case in active sprint, right? So the goal is not to replace whatever you guys doing manually. The goal is to make it more efficient and faster. Why we need it faster? Let me explain. If I don't know if there is any doubt, because you want to have this estimation of every feature, new feature, right, or enhanced feature before balancing meeting. So when you're going to balancing, how we can provide your thoughts about what can be done, what not, if you don't have even an estimation about execution, right? This is kind of linked to our previous discussion about what estimation time should be put it in the test, right? Correct me,
Right,
Sandeep,
Amit.
in a moment,
Right.
because you need to know estimation even before balancing. I'm not talking about regression
Absolutely.
now, before the balance.
Yeah.
So this is what
Um,
we're trying to get help from AI about that. Because I know, guys, you're busy, you're burnt out about this creation test, right? So maybe AI can help you with to have it even before. Without
right, Oleg.
understanding
Yeah.
what you need to do, you cannot do balancing. So, okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, all like and one more thing is like I know that AI will be taking like all the past test case or something. Some of the estimating the hours they're giving is very less. I think when the new user's
No,
going to
nobody, Jenny,
introduce,
nobody's saying that AI
uh,
will provide you correct hours. Forget about
okay,
this. Nobody's
so
saying that. It
okay,
should
then
create just
Mm,
test cases, and you need to, as usual, kind of on your judgment, right? How long it will take, provide
mhm,
this
mhm,
estimation. One
mhm,
time when test was created, that's it. One by
yeah.
one.
Mm, yeah, Oleg.
Yep.
okay,
So Jenny, I mean, like we are in the very initial phase of generating test cases using the AI. I'm like still we are educating the our custom AI generator by providing different documents, different information. So just to get the I'm like the accurate information or accurate test cases or the coverage with the help of AI. So yeah, definitely. Manak, please correct me if I am wrong. Uh, I'm like, we have the provision to get the estimated time for the particular test case with the help of AI, right?
Mm. Right, right.
So,
Correct.
right. So yeah, Jenny, I'm like, we can just look into it, how it is estimating, and based on that, based on our, I'm like, exploration, we can just think about it, whether it is actually giving us the, not, it cannot give us the accurate estimation, but yeah, if it is giving near about like 80 to 70% correct estimation, then that is definitely going to help us. So, but
yeah,
it's an initial phase. So yeah, definitely it will take time for us, and we are trying to find out different ways to educate our chat GPT and like as much as possible. So that may help us to get the accurate and concise result in future.
yeah, sure. Thank
Might
you.
So,
That
please.
would be helpful too. Yeah.
so Jenny, Sandeep, estimation time is not the goal of this chat GPT right now. Just creating test case.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right, Alec.
Yeah.
Right.
But we have the provision. That's
Yes.
why that I was just
Yeah,
explaining.
we
We have the
tried. I mean,
provision.
experimental feature, but don't even maybe I don't know. Is so many confusion. Don't even look into it right now. Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Mike,
Okay.
please
Thank you.
go ahead.
Yeah, so uh, that's we are using the test cases mostly with the AI. And for this we also do this custom jobs. So based on that custom job, we can just pre-configure job, multiple pre-configured jobs such as production for EU and DC failover that we are talking about. So we can just do that more. So we can start and just continue doing this 2 3 jobs. We can utilize the automation more for the manual work. And then AI-based
Uh,
defect predictions. So that's also the test cases and more better test cases and defect size that we can achieve with the AI. So as much as it will learn and we get to know more good prompts, then we can achieve that one as well. So more critical bugs and like edge cases we can get from the AI. So that would be helpful. And then quick testing in productions, as I we talk about that, we are going to introduce some labels with the quick test suite, something like that. So lesser test cases, those are very high priority and critical one, and those has good coverage or main features. Then we can introduce that one and just shortlist those cases. And we are started with this. So that's about something about the X-ray and AI things that we have worked on and we are going to work. And then some pointers, that's regular process that we have prepared the knowledge base document and shared with the automation team that Minoc is okay with those, some text format and some Word document we have shared. So more will be shared if as AI will learn. So that's the percentage, like Orion has 100%. That's all we have done. For Visho, we have given the 70% of documents there. Then we are continuing applying the page labels. So that's a continuous process. Whereas TP and PRB label stacks, there we are continuing doing that. Then linking bugs with defects. That's a continuous process. Checking the production field failures on the weekend. So that's we are doing on the daily and on each weekend that we are doing. And we are updating in the internal groups. And then moving test scenarios in the new folder structures. So test repository and test regression. And functional tagging and linking scenarios that we are doing it. We are still using the regression template ID, zero ID labels with the scenarios. So finding and searching with this label and executing those cases. And then estimation that we are doing in the test scenarios for the most of the that's new scenarios we are estimating. And when we get time, we also estimating the existing one. Buddy review process that we have already doing this. And so that is a lot of improvement with the process and like bugs and comments, those have improved by this buddy review process. Issue reported with automation finding in the last month is 9 for Orion, 6 for Visho, and 0 for 0 for Visho, and 6 for GoLive. And then this is a new BDD tool that automation team has shared with manual team. So we have started exploring new AI test generation like this tool. Yes, we have trying to generate normal scenarios, and that's automated custom that custom Gherkin format also. So we are applying. So and we are also sharing our feedbacks with the automation team that where we are getting difficulty to generate and which prompt we are using, so which is getting better results. So we are also sharing with that common channel. So we have started this. So now there is some improvement is still needed. So we are just giving all the feedbacks there. So few things that this tool is generating, like it is not generating always the accurate results right now, because it may need more good training here. Because sometimes generate improper data, not every steps is not matched. Sometimes it's matched like 40% of steps are accurate, but 20% steps in the same scenario is not that much relatable. So that
So,
we
Mohit,
can
can you please provide some example, like what exactly you are looking and what it returns incorrectly?
okay. Let me just
So, in terms of your talking about the project knowledge, is it related to the project knowledge? Like you want to write some get some test case for particular feature, and it is not written that in the appropriate order, or the
yes.
format is not correct.
No, the about the knowledge. Like if I just say engagement of content sites, not writing much here. So it will generate about that content sites related test cases, but the steps is mismatched sometimes. That's going.
So can you try and see what detail it's giving you without before asking it to write the test cases for any feature? Can you ask it to first provide some detail about what knowledge exactly it has, right?
Okay,
And then
so
see
I
like
provide
whether
some feedback and information, then generate with that information, right?
right. So first you have just my suggestion, like before asking it to generate the test case for any feature. First of all,
You.
let's make sure if it's having that knowledge or not, or even if that has the knowledge, then is it printing that knowledge, that detail there in the response or not, or is it something related to the knowledge base file which we have shared, which doesn't contain the complete information of that particular feature file, that feature, or the knowledge itself is doesn't have that properly formatted or in the proper format so that it cannot print there. So
Sure.
can
Example for
Okay.
that.
I will.
Okay.
so yeah, this information will help us to make it more consistent, reliable, and robust. Because and that's great. Like
Am I audible?
the team has started working into that.
Manak,
Yes,
am I
Sandeep, you are
audible?
audible.
Okay, perfect. So, Manak, what happened, like what I observed personally, uh,
Mhm.
let's say, for example, if we have a particular feature, the naming convention of that particular feature is same in admin side as well as in audience side. And if we just want to
Mhm.
generate the test cases of the particular feature, then how can we get the better result? So in the initial steps, it actually use the terminology of the admin, not the audience. Even it says like login into VCM admin, but I'm like I need to get in touch with you for that particular thing. That how can we more
So
educate that
see,
our chat GPT so that
that is, I think that is related to the knowledge base file which you have shared. So first of all,
absolutely.
before before start directly asking it to write the test cases, first let's make sure the file, the knowledge you have shared is correct, and it's returning the what exactly you are. If you are asking it some flow or some navigation, so is that information there in the knowledge base file? If that is not present in the file itself, or it's not properly formatted or properly written, then how you can expect the AI will, format it automatically based on its own knowledge? Because whatever the information you provided for the domain, it will rely on that only. Okay? So,
Sure, sure, Manak.
let's.
Let's discuss about it. I'm like, based on my understanding, I'm like, we have provided all the information for the particular feature. But yeah, definitely we need to look into it. I'm like, how it is generating and how can we get the better result, and what exactly we
Right.
need to do, we should do before generating the test cases. So I'm like, we can ask few questions before generating the test cases in our AI generator. So that is
No, no,
going to be
not
really helpful.
yeah. That few questions. There is a one or two questions we need to ask. There is just warm up type of question. But my only suggestion is that you first make sure the knowledge file, the file which you have created for your domain, the project is specific, that have sufficient information, and that is actually the this AI model is providing the response accordingly. If that
Okay,
is
Manak.
not, even if you, there may be case like you have the sufficient knowledge there, but the API model, this particular page is not responding the proper, it's not giving the proper response. So maybe we need to reformat the file, maybe we need to highlight something there, some heading, something like that. So we need to investigate into that. So first of all,
Sure.
let's find out the root cause of that.
Sure, Manak. I'm like, we can take a reference of a particular feature and we can just look into our
Right.
knowledge base that what kind of information is available there. And based on that, we'll try to generate some test cases and we'll review the result, then how it is doing it. So we'll connect with you,
Yeah.
Manak. I'll connect
Sure,
with you.
sure.
Yeah, sure, Manak. Only that problem that I have one, that's a few data that I have provided. Like it is giving like user select desired content for insight. Like I have asked content insight. So it is saying that desired content for insight, then verify display consent. So sometimes what happens, it takes like it is taking date range filter. So it is from the add content model. That is a different information, different feature. So sometimes what happens, it is taking the test cases from other feature that we have shared, not that does not belongs to that particular feature. So that is happening. So we can just give more information or just try with more prompts. So we can discuss it later. But this is
Sure, sure,
that the result that I'm getting, something different. Okay.
sure, Mike. Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay. So that is about this tool. So
Sorry,
team
guys.
is starting doing the exploring.
Oleg
Yeah,
raised
sorry,
his
guys.
hand. Thank you.
I think it's the same problem whatever Manak just explained. So information to AI was not structured correctly, provide knowledge base. So the AI does know which feature you are talking about, which options for this feature you're talking about. So, but it's nothing to do with you. It's about knowledge base. And what I wanted to highlight, so the goal of this page is helping you to write quickly test cases based on acceptance criteria from Jira and based on knowledge base. Knowledge base is, I understand, guys, you know better than AI any features, whatever you're asking for. And knowledge base, in terms of transfer the knowledge, it's not for you. You kind of the teachers here. You teaching AI what you know. The knowledge base will be used by other teams. For example, if you want to know something about feature from console, you don't need to go to another console team and asking the question. You can refer to console assistant, right? So they teaching this assistant, they know better than you and everybody else, right? Because they're working directly on this. And to get this knowledge to your team, you can use it. So, and when you're trying to use it opposite directions, right? You know better than AI and you asking AI to do something for you. Don't expect that AI know better. It's know only what you kind of teach it, right?
Yes.
And it's helping just you test case, generate test case more efficiently and faster. Again, proceed with caution. This is AI, so you need to judge your own kind of skills, kind of to judge this test case. But it will pre-generate it for you. You still need to nail it down, etc. But at least you get something quickly, initial phase.
Right, Oleg.
Sorry, please
Right.
go ahead.
Sure. So as we discussed that we will still provide more good understanding to the AI based on the test cases and documents. So that will be improved uh, based on that. And the prompts, the good prompts, we are just gathering those good prompts and we'll share
Mohit,
with the teams.
Mohit, just one thing. Sorry, Manak. As Mohit explained about it, uh, I'm like, can we educate the ChatGPT by uploading some test cases also related to different features? So probably
That
that is
is
suggestion
already there.
from.
Test cases are
Okay.
already written there. Okay, let me quickly share my screen. I just for just a couple of minutes only.
Yes, please.
So I just tested for all these three projects, Orion, Show, and GoLive. So all the test cases, existing test cases, which are already converted into that global format, VDD format, that is already there. And if you ask some questions, or it is just I'm asking question from the tool itself, but rather you can provide the sprint related acceptance criteria directly here, and you can ask it to write the test cases. So I asked a question to generate the test case for data filtering. Okay, it created some of the test cases. Then so sometimes it doesn't parameterize, right? So it doesn't parameterize. So I ask it to parameterize. So it just parameterize the test case. And if I want to ask it to reuse the existing steps, right? So I can ask it, for example, it created, again, provided some detail. It created, it shown me like how many steps can be reused from the existing test cases. So these were the steps. Actually, these are the Cucumber steps. Now, then I asked it to write the complete test case by using those steps which are already there in the uploaded files. So now it incorporated all those steps and created the new test cases for the feature which I initially asked. So in this way, it will help you to reuse the existing steps which are already uploaded there, plus create the new step with the proper format. Similarly for the GoLive project as well. If it returns something, then I ask it can reuse some of the steps. Can you search existing test? So in this particular file, the existing tests are there. So I asked it like, can you search the existing testings file if the step can be reused? So it provided me, okay, these are the steps which can be reused. Now I asked it to incorporate those steps. First, I ask it to print those steps, it printed, and then I asked it to write the test case again by incorporating those particular test steps. So it created with the test case. So yeah, those tests are already there in existing tests. You can ask, it depends like how you asking, what is your prompt, how based on your questions, based on your follow-up questions, it will provide the response and you can get expected results. Yes, and
Okay.
you were saying.
Yeah. And then I'm like, that's okay. Mike, please continue.
Okay, so it's just about time. Just few more points here. So it's been related work during regression and lack of reports resources impacting our regression. So yes, for all three projects, Orion just it is lesser. It's just one day that's after the regression. We were just working on the sprint stories. So those were impacted over day for a couple of members. And for Vishu, there are 2-3 members who are completely involved in some Jiras, like support registration for MeHelp and couple of more Jiras here. And GoLive, there are 2-3 resources were involved in these stories during the regression. So this is happening. So these things affect the regressions. So it is some delayed in the regression and executions. So this is our challenge for each time. So this time feels for Orion there is a lesser. Then upcoming action of items that some of that we were already discussed in our summarize form. So planning to upload all existing tests as to executed our chat GPT so that we are as we discussed. So separate regression tests suite for cake production regressions that we have already discussed. I think that's part we already have discussed. Remaining one that for the review process, we have reviews for VC, Orion, and GoLive. These numbers, and VC has 5 issue found. Orion has 1 and GoLive has 1. So that's for Orion and GoLive. That's a reduced number. So few cases like comments and test cases, it's good. Only that component things that we usually get miss. That happens because component is not a mandatory field for Jira. So sometimes QA has missed those. So that also happen. So and that's all about from our manual QA side. So, Manak, if you want to continue or any other questions, please have.
Not really. Just one thing regarding that knowledge base. So I will create one shared location so that we can not only for this 3 projects but also for all the on 24 projects we can have a common location where we can share the knowledge base files. So that one thing. And regarding the automation update, I think you already covered that. If Piyush, so, Sumit, if you want to add something.
No, sir. All things fine.
Nothing from my side as well.
Okay, then I think we are good.
Okay,
Like
thanks.
Jenny, do you have anything else?
No, thanks. So in the regression dashboard, we do still see a lot of failures, and then I think Yada and Mahit's already take care those like if you go to the X-ray dashboard, the there's like hundreds, more than 300 failings like yesterday. So I
Yeah,
was
because Jenny, the builds was not executing for a couple of days, so
uh,
those were just bunch of stored in that. So today
that's what I
builds was
think too.
executed, so that number reduced, and then remaining one we have reviewed and
Yeah,
updated.
okay. Yeah, I see Orion side it looks good now. So we still have about 200 files in the GoLive side. We would have the team take a look then. Yeah,
We will
thanks.
take care of it, Jenny.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it and we'll clear the board.
Yeah, thank you.
I think mostly it's failing automatically, right? Automated test case,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
So,
it's automatic.
yeah, so you can just re-execute Sandeep. Maybe Manak can help just re-execute the same thing. I know that there was some failure over the weekend, so if you need to re-execute something, it's possible.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that regression job is also there, like the custom job which we created to execute these cases. So if they want to use Sandeep,
Yeah,
maybe you
as
can
far
use
as about
that.
like custom jobs, thanks Manak for uh, reopening this question. So as far as about like custom job, I'm like uh, in this way we can have the multiple and the more high priority and the critical test cases in the production environment, and we can just create the separate suite for uh, different custom jobs, and we can just take the help of automation to have the more coverage in production regression. So yeah, Manak, I
So
will discuss about it and we
for
can definitely
production,
think about.
yeah, for production, definitely you can um, you know create some suits for production runs. But for QA regression board I was talking about, so if something is failing there, so maybe you can
Mhm.
use the that QA regression jobs
Yeah,
which
the
we have
failed
created.
cases.
Right,
Yes,
right.
the
So failed cases you
Perfect,
failed
can
cases we
perfect.
can re-execute. Yeah,
yeah,
thanks,
and
man.
for
That will be
production,
helpful.
yeah, for production also, like if you want to run some additional test cases, so
Mhm.
like let's review them first. There should not be, much data should be created. If even if it's getting created, then it should be deleted at the last, and we
Mhm.
need to review them first, and then we can
We'll cover
we
only
can
those cases which can be, I mean, like the data which data can be removed from the application side. We'll use only those test cases.
right.
Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
So
thanks everyone. Anything else?
thanks,
That's
Mohit.
it.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Mahen.
Thank
Thanks,
running.
you.
Sandeep.
Thank you,
Mana.
Thank you,
Mohit.
everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Thanks,
Sandeep.
all
everyone.
right, thanks,
Thank you,
everyone. Yeah.
Mohit, Sandeep.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks. Bye.